Okay, Jacob, it's on you.
All right. Well, hi, welcome back, everybody. I think we're all really excited for our keynote to get us officially kicked off here this morning. So it's my pleasure to introduce Naomi Davis. She is the founder and CEO of Blacks in Green, or BIG, an urban theorist, attorney, activist, and proud granddaughter of Mississippi sharecroppers. Her heritage forms the foundation for BIG's course in Grannynomics, the 8 principles of green village building, and the sustainable square mile, which Naomi authored and teaches nationally in community lectures and workshops and at universities. Naomi serves as a bridge and catalyst among communities and their stakeholders in the design and development of green, self-sustaining, mixed income, walkable villages within Black neighborhoods, so that every household can ultimately walk to work, walk to shop, walk to learn, walk to play, and neighbor dollars can circulate locally to help limit greenhouse gases associated with transportation and manufacturing pollution. She conveys the risks of global warming, the health and wealth opportunities of the new green economy, the power of neighbors to lead in their city's enviro and economic policy and practice, and the primacy of land ownership. She's also been the recent recipient of some very exciting federal grants, so very pertinent to our discussion here today of how we can make the promises of Justice40 a reality for our communities and organizations. But without further ado, I'll hand you over to the person you actually heard to talk today, Naomi Davis. Thanks.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Marnice. And greetings, cousins. So good to, well, not actually be able to see you, but hoping you're feeling me and that we're feeling each other in kinship here today. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, am I able to share my screen or not? Well, then I'll just go. I'd like to start by saying something about our roots here at Blacks in Green, that we are a product of our heritage here at the Sustainable Square Mile of West Woodlawn. We are celebrating our heritage in the Great Migration comers who settled across this country and made it great. And so where I come from is the Mississippi Delta, proud granddaughter, where everything they ate, they grew, everything they wore, they made. And they thought that they were poor, but discovered they were rich. We're going to talk about how each of us in our organizations around Region 5, the Midwest generally, are going to be able to not only continue to be enriched and grounded in who we are as a people, the African Americans among us, and our cousins across the bounds of race and class, will also be inspired, I'm hoping, by the spirit of the courage and the genius and the work ethic and the creativity of those who came and made the way possible for us. And in the realm of richness, we're going to be exploring this. I don't know, maybe it's not going to be once in a lifetime, but it's certainly once so far in anyone's lifetime that the Biden administration has blessed those who have been historically disenfranchised by an opportunity to really catalyze equity through the technical assistance centers known around the country then as the TCTAC. And that's the Thriving Community, that's the acronym is the Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Centers. And we're bringing with that heritage and understanding of the whole system problem common to Black communities everywhere, and how we are going to be able to tackle them as a whole system solution is part of what we are sharing with you today. We have been the authors of the 8 principles, which when implemented become your sustainable square mile. And the question that we ask people is, where is your village? And in the context of where is your village, that sense of belonging, that sense of sovereignty, that sense of authority over where your life can go, not impeded by the constraints of your zip code, your skin color, constrained only by your imagination. And so that's why we're saying here today, think big, because we're bringing the theme to you today of what will you do with your Biden billion? What will you do with your Biden billion? And what does that mean? It means that as part of the TCTAC system that was launched by the EPA, that we are having an opportunity to tap into many trillions, we'll say trillions of dollars in an all of government approach to providing justice in the realm of how are we investing our federal dollars. And I want you to know that while you may not be an expert and may never be an expert in this realm, relax. What we are going to share with you today and how we're going to be a partner to you is going to bring you hand in glove right to the opportunities that are best suited for you and your organization and your aspirations. Our partners in our TCTAC are Environmental Health Watch and Black Environmental Leaders of Cleveland, Ohio, the University of Illinois, the School of Public Health, and the Smart Energy Design Assistance Center, and IMTERRA, which is the Midwest Tribal Energy Resources Association. We got here by what we call flipping the script. And that means that we are actually having the chutzpah and the commitment that we be funded as organizations directly rather than through the more traditional regranting of our white allies. Flipping the script is something that we did when we filled out our aspirational application to the EPA. And about 25 people started the process with us, very open and democratic. We ended up in 5 weeks with an application, 5 lead partners, and a really ongoing commitment to democratic leadership in the process of getting this money down to you. We believe that in the new terms of engagement between the front line and our white allies, that we are leading, they are following, and that we are standing in our ability to design, implement, and manage solutions to the burning problems in our community. This matters because larger institutions, and particularly universities, are traditionally gathering up 10, 20, 30, 40, sometimes as much as 50% of the funding for their overhead. And in their commitment, also leading in the decision-making process of how funds are going to be allocated. And we just feel that this business as usual, it's time to change. So I'm going to give you 3 websites to start with that, and and if I told you nothing else today than what these 3 websites are, you would know 99% more than anybody else in the country about how to find these resources. Now, I will say that it's not going to be a quick process for you to navigate through these websites, but you're not alone. You are going to be able to tap in, and we will share with you our contact information so that you can begin to register for direct services through the big Region 5 TCTAC. The first website is invest.gov, just the way that it sounds. The second website is build.gov, again, just the way it sounds. And the other one, the third one, is cleanenergy.gov. And if you do nothing more than begin to familiarize yourself with the thousands of pages of resources there, and the hyperlinks that will lead you to deeper knowledge, you will be standing yourself in good stead. But again, you're not alone. At the Blacks and Green Region 5 TCTAC, we have a team of staff members who are dedicated to walking you through the process. Our regional director is Cleophas Lee. We have a program manager who will be paying particular attention, and I'm going to break down the services that we're going to be providing. We have navigators, a front line of navigators and ombudsmen who will receive your query, who will say, this is what I think I'm interested in and think that I need. And they're going to walk you through, not like your 800, dial a problem and, good luck, but definitely hand-holding and customized support. Black Environmental Leaders is providing our outreach leadership. Environmental Health Watch is providing our collaboration and engagement, deep tissue relationship building. MTerra, of course, is focused on serving tribal communities, whether they're in rural areas or whether they're in the cities. And the University of Illinois, the School of Public Health, and the Smart Energy Design Assistance Center are going to be providing the grant writing, technical assistance, training and support and engagement.
Hey, Naomi. Hey, I wanted to get in there with you, and thank you so much for all that. You can show your screen now.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Thank you. All right, let's see. Share. I'm gonna stop share. I'm going to go off camera a second. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Oh, cancel. Share. All right. And
oh, these are lovely.
Okay, so I'm going to come down here to, oh dear. Oh, here we go. Slide format. And I'm going to just advance to where I was. That's my granny. Information about the TCTAC, our partners, flipping the script, what we believe, why it matters, the 3 very, very, very famous websites that you are going to be best friends with over the next year and parts. This is the org structure of our Region 5 big TCTAC. And just to note, to avoid confusion going forward, that we will have there is already a University of Minnesota, also Region 5 TCTAC, not to be confused with the Blacks and Green Team TCTAC. And this row here is the row of navigators who will likely be the first people that you will have a relationship with. Again, the menu, okay, so the menu of the types of services, and I'm going to give you just a little bit of detail about that. Let's see, why isn't it? Okay, here we go. Again, our priority is to drive the Biden billions to the front line. There are trillions, but we're not saying, I know it's like a mind-boggling number, like what is a trillion anyway? Well, if you don't feel the bandwidth to wrap your mind around that, just think about your billion. And of course, I'm saying that with a smile and a little bit of a giggle, but I'm seriously inviting you, when we think about what kind of resources we need to understand, we've been underserved and underinvested forever, and now is the time to really catalyze our growth. So we're going to be providing the grant search assistance, thousands and thousands of grants out there. How do you find the one that's right for you? The grant writing assistance, there's a particular quality and style that will put you up to the top of the list. And then your internal organizational capacity building. As part of our TCTAC, we were always advancing as our version of the thriving community, our sustainable square mile system. And as part of our application, we also made a focus on energy justice. It's one of the possibly greatest civil rights issues of our time, other than barriers to voting and that whole issue. Energy, life essential service, and so we're providing open source available to all of the members of our Region 5 TCTAC. The work that we've done, energy legislation, the microgrid and grid modernization, building decarbonization, energy auditing, the cooperative structure for doing solar installations, and we've got a 9-megawatt solar installation under process right now, and of course the EV charging network, which is essential to our lifestyles. So we've got values, we've got guiding principles. I want you to know that you can reach out and get copies of this document. It's not something we want to spend a lot of time on right now, but just for you to know that we are guided by values, the same way that Marnice has spent a lot of time building in a culture for equity at Midwest Building Decarb. We're bringing that same consciousness and commitment as part of our work. So grant seeking and writing, this means, are you, and some of you are, and understand, you're going to be across a spectrum, and it's okay wherever you are. Adam Clayton Powell said it best: start with what's in your hand, be where you are, and come into this conversation. We can support you with grant writing and narrative development, and then train you. And we'll be doing train the trainer as part of our system. The community engagement, we understand the absolute imperative of communities leading in the design and development and management of their systems. And so this will be an example of how you are going to be leading. And then with regard to leading, what capacity do you have now, and where can you shore yourself up? Keep in mind, this is a 5-year program. where do you want to be at the end of the 5 years? And how can we be a tool to help you get there? So in terms of energy justice, many of you are, by virtue of your affiliation with Midwest Building Decarb, are already focused on energy issues. And whether you are focused on advocacy or whether you're focused on the practice or implementation on the ground, we've got something for you. Environmental health, we understand that the Black and Brown communities are hit first and worst, and resource least and last. And we are very acutely aware, and especially our partner, Environmental Health Watch, shout out to Kim Foreman and her team, in how to analyze impacts and sculpt and craft solutions that are custom to the problems in play. And then the aspect of thriving communities that we are specifically also advancing is, this idea that only a whole system solution can transform the whole system problem common to Black communities everywhere. And so we know what those problems are. And the 8 principles of green village building and the sustainable square mile have been cultivated over a series of years in order to be a toolbox, a blueprint, a roadmap for organizations, if they choose, to create sustainable square mile systems right where they live. We ask you to key into some of the teach-ins that we'll be offering, so that you can step-by-step understand how to build your sustainable square mile. We love to let people know in advance that it culminates, the first part culminates in putting on a show. Yeah, I have a theater background, but it's not just because of that. And it's not just because theater has the power to change hearts and minds, but it's because if we're not knitting ourselves together in kinship on the ground where we live in relationship, we are not going to get far at all. So the idea that we are building relationships is fundamental to the work ahead. So in preparation for your tapping into the trillions, the first thing you must be aware of is that, and I want you to really relax and feel confident that you can get this money that's out there. We're going to give our all to make sure that that happens. But you've got to do certain things, and you're not going to get the money if your paperwork is not in place. Now, I don't mean to talk down to anybody, because you're all grown folks with success and momentum and all those good things. But even the best of us could use some refinement sometimes in how we are keeping our paperwork, our organizational documents, our financials, our program summaries. And this is the time right now to, get it off the shelf, get it off the hard drive, pull it together in a way that's orderly, because you're going to be your own internal machine. You're going to be cranking out grants, or I'll just say you'll have the opportunity and the support to crank out grants like you never have before. So you want to really put a little assembly line together. And like I said, fill in what's missing, but do not panic. You can do this. Pull together your dream team. We all have folks. Some, like me, were operating as an army of one, and and you can do a lot as an army of one, but you also want to be building your team. Now is the time for you. When we say building capacity, that also means zeros in your bank account to hire staff. What staff do you need? What staff has earned or deserves a higher salary? You know that Blacks and women are paid, pennies on the dollar to our crosstown cousins. Well, that can end. That should end. That must end. And Blacks in Green has also been blessed to be able to really up the grade of our salaries in our organization. And number two, because to really compete for the talent that's out there these days, you want to be able to be at market. So don't play yourself short. Put the numbers in there that you know are right, and don't second guess yourself. And third of all, attend our big TCTAC, which is our super sign-on that we're going to have here in Chicago on February 1st and 2nd of 2024 at the University of Illinois Pavilion. I'm sorry, Forum, University of Illinois Forum. Our partner, Sarat Erdal at the School of Public Health is a proud sponsor, and we have many other sponsors to that event. But here's the thing that you can do now. Again, we're preparing, we're getting you ready, we're queuing you up. Fill out this form and join the Biden Billion Brigade. Yeah, I know it's kind of corny, but if you, and I'm going to read it out to you so that you can write it down, because there's no hyperlink here in this modality. But, you know, the https:// short URL period at, and this is the key part, small b, little I, wait a minute, big I, I'm sorry, small b, big I, big J, big M, big O. Okay. So, and we can drop this in the chat also so that you can go right to the form. This is the form that's going to get you into our queue as an inquiry that you are interested in being a part of this big Region 5 TCTAC. So when you get your Biden billions, or however much you get, we encourage you to adopt the 8 principles. And that means walk around in your, we call it the village, feel where its boundaries are, put your handshake together. What's that? It's our cute little way of saying your database of stakeholders. Know who your stakeholders are, because you're going to be reaching out to them time and time again over the years of this process. They might be writing letters of support. They might be providing data. They might become a partner. All kinds of ways, but you want to have a ready reference, a database, contact management system. If you have one, great, make it better. If you don't have one, not too late, start putting it together. We can provide assistance with that as well. And then you're going to begin surveying and inventory. And of course, many of you are very seasoned organizations already doing this. I don't know about you, but just because I've done it doesn't mean I can find it on my hard drive. So once again, pull your documents together in one place. And when we say put on a show, again, it's because often when we're coming together, we're pissed off, we've been disenfranchised about something, we're out of our minds with rage about one thing or the other, and that is not really the fluid that you want to be piping through your initiatives. You want to be piping through love and equanimity and peace and confidence. And when you are getting together to put on a show, you grow bonds, which are really critical. So I want to thank you for dialing in today. I want you to know, relax, dial in, become a part of this family. Come get your billions. Again, that's the form. And you can reach us by email, and you can reach us at the website, and of course, across social media. Thank you, Marnice, Midwest Building Decarb Coalition, and all my friends around the region.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Naomi, and we are so excited to see these TCTACs up and running. They were anxiously awaited for a long time. So encourage folks to definitely connect with that and take advantage of this great resource that Blacks in Green will be spearheading. And I see that there's links to their newsletter and contact information in the chat if folks had any follow-up questions.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have the capacity to have a little Q&A now, but either way, we are full service and at your service for your questions, comments, and concerns, and just really excited to be connecting with you.
Yeah, I know we had on our schedule that we were going to take a little 15-minute break now and come back at 5 for the next session. But certainly, if you're willing, if folks had some quick questions in the chat while we have this break time, we can maybe take one or two. Want to respect Naomi's time as well. So, but if folks did have some short questions here, we can take a little as we transition into this break.
Anybody out there?
I see we have a couple hands up here. So I see Shelly and then Sean. So yeah, Shelly, you should be able to speak now.
Yes, good morning. Great presentation too, Naomi. Yeah, I know your new regional director, Cleophas. He and I worked together at OAI, and I was at Malcolm X when you just got the Most Deserved Award just recently. So I have an emerging workforce development agency. I'm right in your neighborhood in the South Shore area. So we train in the environmental health and safety space. So just looking to connect with you. And our target population is the reentry community. Yeah. So
do understand that you can also drop in and say hello. We're here at 6431 South Cottage Grove. We're just, for those of you who know anything about Chicago, you can jump on the Green Line from anywhere in the downtown, and you can connect to any part of the city to connect to the Green Line, and the end of the line is just a block from our door. So we're conveniently located in Woodlawn, West Woodlawn to be precise, just in the area of the University of Chicago and west of where Obama Presidential Center is going up. And so, Shelly, give a call, drop on in, have a cup of tea or a glass of wine with your friend Cleophas, and know that we got you.
Appreciate you so much. This is a highlight of my day. Thank you, Naomi.
Okay.
Thank you, Shelly. And then I see Sean and then Gregory had their hands up as well.
Hello, Naomi. Great to meet you. This is Sean Grashevsky, and I'm serving on our Minneapolis Community Environmental Advisory Committee, which is helping to implement our citywide climate equity plan. And
which city?
Oh, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis? Okay, got it.
So we'd love to team up with you guys as well as with our University of Minnesota TCTAC, because we have tremendous amount of community-based groups across Minneapolis, but most of them are too small to handle a federal grant. So we would like to try to kind of combine forces with some bigger groups and be able to like EPA community change grants. And so I don't know if you have any advice on how we can build coalitions of smaller groups across the city, kind of working on local food or weatherization, things like that.
Yeah, well, I'll just tell you from our experience, we just put an open call out, and we're really big on people picking their own partners rather than being partnered up by somebody. And I think in the open call process, people can see who's in there with them, connect at will. And I think people should also know these federal funds, even though the federal application can be vastly more complicated than some of the, especially the more relaxed philanthropic applications that are going around now, some of them are $75,000, and some of them are less. Some of them are applications that organizations can cut their teeth on if they haven't had federal experience. We just greatly encourage people. Coalitions are great, and we know why, but also don't feel that you're too small to do it on your own. Do not feel you're too small to do it on your own. For those of you who are small and very small, we're going to have the technical assistance here to help you walk through the grant application. We have one of the leading federal grant writing and compliance authorities in the country as part of our team. And so while you are encouraged always to be working together, understand you as the primary applicant or the lead applicant on a grant, that those funds are going to go into your bank account. You're going to get experience managing money, and you're going to get experience in managing the kind of team that you're dreaming of as a next step, and you're going to get experience in the process of writing those grants, because you can't stay in your parents' house, for the rest of your life. You really want to get out there and, try it on your own. And this is the time to do that. So, as to your question, Sean, I'd say start with an open call process, and then let people meet each other and network and self-select how they might want to work together. And also recognize that, even when there's friction or so-called competition, or concerns over, what judgments and assessments about another organization, I encourage folks to kind of let that, actively and affirmatively let it go and see what might be on the other side of it. Give people a chance, have strong guidelines, speak honestly, and those who are mutually aligned on goals can work together, and should definitely explore that as an option. Now, Sean, if you want to talk with our team about our coalition process, we, like I said, had that open call. We had a democratic sorting and shifting of who was going to do what role. We're very happy to model that for you. And as a matter of fact, come on February 1st and 2nd. We want everyone to come. And it's going to be a lot of fun, by the way. We believe in fun. But also on November 29th here at the Green Living Room, we're going to have our blood brother Kyle White from the University of Michigan come and talk more specifically about that coalition building process and our own origination story. So that's a luncheon, open bar, just a really good time on the 29th, Wednesday the 29th, from 11:30 to 1:30 here in Chicago.
Great. And then one follow-up question is, I'm not sure how to, which clearinghouses can kind of, like, you gave us those 3 websites to look at, but
Mhm.
would you guys or the U of M TCTAC be try to whatever curate or somehow weed through a bunch of different proposals and have them show up by topic area? Like,
Wait, because I'm not understanding you. Can you start over a different way?
sure. So it's a bit overwhelming for groups to sift through all these federal websites to find the relevant RFPs. So, like, will your newsletter be highlighting them, or like how can we?
Okay.
Is there any other way you can have a
Yeah.
directory
Okay.
of different opportunities?
Yeah, I think I understand your question now. So if I'm hearing you correctly, one thing about all 3 of those websites is that they're highly sortable. So you can put in a lot of criteria that will dramatically narrow the scope of opportunities. And you should do multiple searches for the different areas of your interest. If you and our navigators, the navigators that you will be able to meet when you either tune in or visit us at our Super Sign-On event, will sit with you and understand what your plans, needs, and aspirations are, and help you navigate through those sites. So I only gave them in advance for those of you who want to jump in there and start seeing kind of what's out there, but you're not on your own. If you'd like to get with one of our navigators, fill out this form that's on the screen right now. And that's a B and an L and a J.
Okay, I got the form. Yeah, I clicked on it
Oh.
from the chat. So great. Okay, thank you so much.
Now,
Yeah.
did I answer your question?
Yeah, this is great. And so anyway, we're trying to do it a bit more specifically for things related to the Minneapolis Climate Action Plan and creating partnerships and long-term contracts between the city and the community-based groups. But we'll keep in touch here. So
Beautiful, beautiful. Please do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sean. And I think we're going to take one last question from Gregory here shortly. And then after that, we'll take a 10-minute break and come back for our next session. But I know the Blacks and Green team has been sharing how you can get in touch with them on screen and in the chat. So I'm sure they will be open to other follow-up questions that we weren't able to get to live here. But Gregory, why don't you ask our final question, and then we'll take a short break.
Well, first of all, I'm not sure if I have I don't have a question as much as I have this opportunity to make a public complimentary compliment to Naomi. And that is to say that I know that this was a lot of drudgery, arduous work for you. And I do know that we need to recognize this demonstration of tenacity, persistence. And I'm going to use a word that I was given from even white people in some of the settings, and that is being demanding and having the courage to take the lead. And those words did not come from me. They came from other white affiliates that said she was demanding to lead this process. So I thank you for demonstrating that these things can be done, but the work and the time and the dedication which you have displayed must be there. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gregory, I love you so much. And you know that I know that you know that I know that you know. From being an Army of One, really for 12 years, and then being the only community-based organization to apply and then to get it is definitely a triumph. And my mission is that you all are facilitated, supported, encouraged, and empowered to have that same triumph. because I know I'm special, but I'm not that special. You can do it too. I swear to you, you can do it too. And it is hard.
Awesome. Well, I think that's about as good a note to end this session on as any. So thank you again, Naomi, for joining us. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on all the great work that you are doing. And like I said, I think we're going to take a 10-minute break here now until 10:55, and then we'll come back with the rest of our session. So thank you again. We can get to everybody's questions live, but we're gonna try to at least somewhat stay on track here. So
yeah, and please send your questions to the email, and we promise we'll get back to you. See you in February.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye now.